We're getting a chance to talk story today with actor who comes here from the state of Hawaii. It is Kanoa Goo. Kanoa, thank you for being with us.
Hey, Billy, thanks for having me. Thank you so much.
Kanoa, kind of give me an idea. First of all, where did you grow up here in Hawaii and how did you get into acting?
Yeah, I grew up, I moved a lot actually, but always in town. I went to Punahou, so always in town, but I kind of just always, it's always been my thing. I think I did my first commercial when I was 8 on Oahu, and I just ended up doing a bunch, and it was kind of like my favorite thing to do because I would get to miss school and go and play pretend for the day, and so that was sort of my entry, and then thankfully, I got involved in the like theater community on the island, and so I did a bunch of plays growing up, and then at Punahou in high school, and yeah, it was sort of always my thing.
When did the light come on that this is what you wanted to do?
Yeah. So the earliest memory I have of performing was one of those like church spring break programs where parents can drop their kids when they don't have school, so there's something to do. And a neighbor friend of mine, their parents were like, "Oh well, our kids are doing this little performing thing. If Kanoa wants to do it," so I went with them, and it was we put up like a little mini production of something, and the end of it was sort of presenting it, performing for our parents. And that was it. I remember that I was kind of that first feeling of performing, just being hooked and addicted. And so it was sort of finding ways to to feed that and do more of that on the island. And at first I had no idea how to do it, but thankfully I had a really supportive family that kind of sought out all of these different outlets.
Tell me about making the move over to California.
Yeah, so after Hawaii, I was like, the next logical step would be to I was always going to go to college. So it was like, okay, well, I can study this, I guess. And so, the whole college admission program for acting and theater is quite competitive. So I ended up like auditioning for a bunch of schools, and thankfully had a few choices, and I ended up going to NYU in New York. So I studied there. And then after that, it was sort of like, okay, well, either stay here in New York or move to LA. And so I ended up going to LA.
Tell us about auditioning for your current role on CBS that's coming up this coming Friday night.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, this audition just kind of came like any other one. And it's funny. I actually I auditioned for the pilot, the very first episode of this show, Fire Country, and ended up meeting with the producers and had a really great session. It didn't go my way, but so when I got this audition, I recognized it, of course, because I had auditioned previously, and so I was hoping they would remember me a little bit. And the part seemed really right for me, and it was just one of those that felt really kind of easy to do, and I'm just so thankful that it ended up happening. Yeah.
Tell us your character's name and tell us about your character.
Yeah, so I play Kyle on the show. And Fire Country kind of, it takes place in the world of firefighting in this small town in Northern California. And it's so I play Kyle. I sort of found a lot of success and fame as this Olympic diver.
I'm not alone.
Is that Olympian Gabriela Perez?
Hi guys, this is
Kyle Ferguson of Olympic and cereal box fame.
Gabriela was always the one to watch. I give psychic vibes.
And so I'm stumbling into town to teach this diving clinic. That's what brings me there. But while I'm there, I get to reconnect with Gabriela on the show because she also was an Olympic diver. And so we went through all of those like training days and everything together. And so while I'm there, we reconnect, and yeah, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say too much more.
No. We understand. You got to make sure you watch. No, absolutely. So tell me about your experience of being on the set since you auditioned for this and you've really wanted to be on it. So what was it like when you finally got there and how was your experience?
Oh, it was amazing. It's always a little bit daunting walking onto any job or any new set, especially if they're in the process of already making the show. You're kind of like the new guy in town. So there's always a little bit of nerves, and it's a little daunting, but thankfully everyone could not have been more kind and welcoming and warm. And Stephanie Arcila, who plays Gabriela, who most of my work has been with, she's just really wonderful. And it made me feel really comfortable and at ease. So we got to really have a lot of fun together. So I'm super thankful for everybody at that show. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
I want to give you a chance to say hi to everybody back here at home. So anybody you want to say hi to, go for it.
Oh yeah. Hello to all of my family, Dad, Cindy, my mom, everybody. It's cool to get to do something like this. You know, you move away from home and you try to you're doing your own thing, and so it's nice to get to do something like this that everyone at home actually gets to see. So, hello everybody. Thank you for always supporting me.